welcome. My name is Jen OSullivan. I'm a Senior Presidential Director with Lifewave, but I'm also a board-certified naturopath, and I'm going to help you understand a modality, something that I use in my own practice, that is these tiny little stickers. They're phenomenal, and so phenomenal that I made it so that you cannot join my practice unless you use them. And so it's an important distinction to make because, I mean, I've just seen so much efficacy in using these beautiful little patches. So let's share real quick just a brief understanding of this. These are Llfewave X39, and we joke, have you been patched? I want to give you a quick disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. I am a brand partner with Lifewave. This is not intended to give any medical advice. The product that I'm going to be sharing here is not to be used to like treat or cure or prevent disease or illness, and this has not been evaluated by the FDA, this presentation. So I want you just to check with your medical doctor or your practitioner before you make any major health or lifestyle changes. Okay, so what is cellular decline? Well, at the age of 20, you are amazing, right? You have very high levels of what is called GHKCU. It's a copper tripeptide in your body. It's human. It's called endogenous peptide, GHKCU. This GHKCU rises and falls at the same exact rate as any healing cell in your body. This is really an interesting point to make because this is the kind of the crux of all this. By the age of 30, your GHKCU in your body declines by 60%, and by the age of 60, it declines by 90%. This is why we age, okay? This is exactly why we age. Well, GHKCU was discovered by Dr. Lauren Picard in 1973, and again, like I said, this is human copper peptide in the body. And he started doing research on, well, what would we do if we put topical GHKCU on the body? Very different, by the way, than what internal GHKCU is. So what is it exactly? Well, it's an amino acid complex of 3 amino acids. It's a combination of glycine, histidine, and lysine that you get from your foods, and then a trace mineral, copper. Like I said, amino acids, generally speaking, you have some in your body that are made and some that aren't, that you get from food, but you get certain amino acids from your food sources like meat and eggs and whatnot, and then you get your copper also from food sources. But let's talk real quick about why this is an important whole thing. Why is this important? So let's talk about something completely different, resveratrol. Some of you have heard about this, and you know, people tout that you should drink red wine because it gives you resveratrol, or drink, eat dark berries because it gives you resveratrol. Take a supplement of resveratrol. Now, why? Why are people freaking out about resveratrol? It's because it can reset 2 genes in your body, okay? And that's groundbreaking until we start to understand GHKCU. If you can figure out a way to increase human GHKCU in your body, this is human copper peptide. If you can increase it in your body endogenously, okay, that's not with a supplement, it's not with an injection, it's increasing it where your body is making it itself. Do you want to know how many genes it can reset? It actually has been studied and proven that if you can increase GHKCU in your body, it will reset 4,192 genes. This is unheard of and groundbreaking, and is why things are changing rapidly in our world. Okay, here's the deal. Now, what if you knew of a product that could increase GHKCU? Okay, that's the point of all this. To help you understand that this product, this little tiny sticker patch, is clinically proven to produce endogenous, like we've used that word over and over again, but human, your own, your body creates it, endogenous GHKCU, which will then create younger and healthier cells. That is what is so phenomenal about this. This little patch is an FDA recognized and compliant general wellness product. It's non-transdermal and non-invasive. This little guy is made out of amino acids and salts. It's encased in medical grade plastic. That's why it's non-transdermal. It uses your own body's infrared light as therapy, easy to use, peel and stick, and it's patented. The reason we need to understand it's patented is that nobody else has this. There are other patches on the market, but not this. Nobody even has anything close to this. They don't even hold a candle to this. This is proven. We've got a lot of research and studies, but how does this work? In the case of phototherapy, the sun hits your skin. This is a basic understanding of phototherapy when we use the sun, okay? It's been around forever. The sun hits your skin is then signaled like a light switch to turn on the production of what? Vitamin D, right? So right now in the summer, if you lay out a little bit, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, your dermis of your skin is being signaled to produce vitamin D. The sun doesn't have vitamin D in it. I can't capture vitamin D in a jar, right, from the sun. It's that your body is signaled by that light wave, and it's a specific light wave. If I'm sitting under a lamp in my office, it's not giving me vitamin D. It's a different wavelength. So when you have a different wavelength, you're going to get a different outcome. So it's turning on health, and this is how the patches work. The patches are turning on health by using infrared light, your own body's infrared light, very specific wavelengths for this specific patch to increase endogenous peptides. And each patch has a different wavelength. Each patch that we carry, we have 10 different patches, technically 11 with the horse patch, but we have different patches that do different things. But why is this patch the most groundbreaking? Well, because when you can increase endogenous GHKCU, you have some really phenomenal potential benefits. The first level of activity that happens is mitochondria, and this is why so many people feel this energy. But what's happening now is that your cells begin to proliferate. Not diseased cells, okay? It has no ability to increase diseased cells. This is actually not scientifically possible. When you increase GHKCU, its only ability is to increase healthier, younger cells, not diseased cells. So rest assured on that. But what happens then is your strength improves, your stamina improves, mobility, cognition, energy, moods, your hormones balance, skin starts to smooth out, your vision can be supported, your gum health can be supported, your digestion, all this stuff. So when you think really hard about it, and you think about fill in the blank diseases, right? Will this help with fill in the blank? I don't know. All I know is it's going to produce younger, healthier cells. And when you have younger, healthier cells, it's going to produce a younger, healthier you, right? So I don't know where it's going to go to work on you first, but I do know that your body is a miracle. God created it this way so that your body knows, like, I need to go where most critical first. So sometimes things happen internally that you can't feel. So we want you to fill out the health tracker. It is free. You can download it on patchedu.com. But you're just going to wear this thing 2 finger widths below your navel or on the back of your neck at the bump where your neck meets your shoulder line. There's a C7 spine area. It's the largest bump on your spine. It's below the actual neckline. It's right at your shoulder level, and that's where you're going to put it. You're going to wear it for 12 hours on and 12 hours off, and you're going to commit to 6 to 12 months. And the reason for that is, how old are you? How long did it take you to get into the mess that you're in health-wise? What issues do you have? I don't like saying a decade per, 1 month per decade of life, and the reason for that, and you'll hear a lot of people talk about that, and the reason is because I don't know if a 40-year-old goes on this that has a bunch of problems and they expect to be like fine in 4 months. How is that even possible? I have a 40-year-old that has rheumatoid arthritis, and it's like, really? And you're on methotrexate and all these other drugs that are imposing on this is going to take longer. Like, expect 12 months if you have any major issue. I can't tell you if it's going to heal that major issue at all. I have no idea, nor would that even be legal for me to say it would, right? We don't know that, but it is going to be increasing healthier, younger cells. And if you can't commit to 6 to 12 months of use, don't use this product. Okay, I'm just being clear with you. This is an important thing to understand. This is phenomenal, and it is working in a major way. This is patchedu.com is where to learn more about this. But what I want to share with you is a little bit about our company, right? Because we already talked about the fact that this is unique and patented and proven. But what you don't know is that because of this product, we have a 3,000% growth rate. That is unheard of in any company. And it's all because of the X39. We are considered the fastest growing direct sales company in the world for the past 2 years. We won the Bravo Growth Award. This is a big, big, big deal in the industry. David is the owner and founder of this company, and he has 200 patents. There's over 80 studies on all of our patches. But what's great about this is he created this into a potential for other people to make money, right? So this is, instead of him paying a marketing company, he has his direct sellers, right? People who are wanting to share this with their friends. We have a very simple and professional strategy and system in place, but this has massive momentum. So I wanted to just show you our 2024 earnings disclosure. I want to call out the actual active brand partners. And if you see the bottom there, that's Senior Presidential Director. And you can see that the average earnings for a Senior Presidential Director is over $500,000. And the average months it takes to achieve that rank is just over 2 years. So I want to just ask you real quick, do you have a job, or are you in a career path that if you worked full-time for 2 years, you'd be making $500,000? Or what if you worked like 3/4 of the time? I know people who've achieved this and they work about 20 hours a week. Let's say you work half-time. Okay, let's say, let's just be realistic and say, no, this is work. This isn't like get rich quick at all. This is work. Network marketing, right? But let's just say you worked for 40 hours a week and you just decided to pour yourself into this. Is that worth it? Like, I think it is, okay? I think it's just crazy the way you're working for someone else's millions. Why not work for your own? So, we don't have any copycat products. We are fully patented technology, 3,000% growth rate, fastest growing direct sales company in the world 2 years in a row, and we are not slowing down. So how does this business work? It's social sharing through your network. It's a professional direct sales company. It's not like one of those icky MLMs. We aren't a pyramid scheme. It's nothing like that at all. It's a professional direct sales company. There's a lot of people that just want to work from home and make some extra money. It's something that can happen. Our comp plan is the most progressive in the industry. We have very simple building blueprints and systems that you plug right in. You only work with 2 teams, which makes this really simple. Easy onboarding for both customers and brand partners, and an earn while you learn opportunity. This is like just the best of all worlds. What you need to do to get started is find your core 4 builders. That means you're putting 2 people on your right team and 2 people on your left team. And those teams are where you're building your core 4. So those people who are your core 4 are people who actually want to do this business with you. They're not customers, they're actual builders. And that's what you start with. And then you go from there and you start running. So here's what we got. It's very simple. It's like I said, a plug and play system. You share X39 with people every day. You follow up with people every day, and you invite people to a Zoom like this every day. It's not rocket science. We have one of the best onboarding systems in the industry. Very easy to follow. You'll get these sheets and be able to work through them. But I want to ask you what your dream life is. What do you have? What don't you have? What do you wish you had? What is your dream life? I don't know what it is because everyone's different. What does your ministry look like? What does your mission look like? What is it that you want to do to glorify God, to honor God? I don't know, right? What is your purpose? But are you able to get there, or are you hindered because of your health? Are you hindered because of your time? You're working all day long at a job you can't stand. Are you hindered because you don't have the resources to do this? That's what this does for you, okay? So you can go to patchedu.com, check out the opportunity link at the top. Come on these trainings. I am here doing these every Monday and Wednesday for all of you to come on, ask your questions, learn how this works. But it's just simple. It's almost too simple. And I'm going to tell you right now, it would be bad of you to pass this up, to not try it. Okay, it's not for everybody. I don't say that. I don't think that that's wise to say, oh, anybody can do this. I think it's important to note that it requires a certain sense of chutzpah, that you're gonna put the grit in it and work it. But yeah, if you've got that, you can learn. These systems are so easy. It's a matter of you grinding it out. Let's go. All right. So I'll see you guys on the next one, and take care. Either 1 gulp every 10 minutes, 2 gulps every 20 minutes, or 3 gulps every 30 minutes, right? You need to stay hydrated every 30 minutes. If you go beyond 30 minutes without consuming any water, your body starts to become dehydrated. The issue here is when you're consuming food, you actually don't want to drink water during that 15-minute consumption period, and even before and after. So there should be a 30-minute window where you're not consuming water, because the food needs to digest. And so if you're like, what? I need to drink water when I'm eating my food. Okay, you'll get used to it. I promise. Your body will adjust. Stop drinking liquids when you're eating. If you must, I would say, we used to say 4 ounces and just sip it throughout your meal. Like that's a big deal for you. But, if I was going out to dinner, it might be an hour and a half thing. I'm not going to not drink that whole time. I'm going to drink my water while we're waiting for whatever's food is coming, and then about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm not guzzling it. I don't want to have all this water in my system, in my stomach, to then add the food, because then it's creating an alkaline environment that's not going to, the acid isn't going to, my stomach acid won't perform as well. And so this is part of the problem. So we want to chew our food fully. We don't want to overconsume food, but we want to chew our food fully. And then wait, just like if you have to, just take little sips. Like if you're drinking a glass of wine, a 4-ounce pour, please don't do heavy pours, but like if you do like a little 4-ounce pour, you can sip that throughout your entire meal. And that would be it. But again, I don't advocate alcohol. I'm just saying, like, think of it like your water would be like a little 4-ounce pour, and you're just going to sip it through your meal. Okay, same concept. But that's going to be a big help to you. And, X39, in all the studies that have been done and some of the reports that have been put out about it, it's not that, it's like when you increase GHKCU, when you increase human GHKCU, the outcome of increased GHKCU is that your digestive system can get corrected, so to speak. And so things like this could be corrected. However, not if she's adding fuel to the fire, right? So if she has been drinking tons of water when she eats food and she's eating heavy meals that take a long time to digest, that's why she's having silent reflux. So we have to correct the problem and stop putting like fuel onto the forest fire. The patch is going to help. The patch is more like maybe like the airplane of water, not the little garden hose. But the garden hose would be like, okay, let's kind of really think about what we're eating, how we're eating, we chew our food properly, and then, the fuel that you might add would be like the water, so we're not adding that. So I hope that made sense. Okay, what patches and placement are best to help with neuropathy? So this is the question that everybody has on fill in the blank, whatever. What patches and where do I place them? And how long do I use them for, right? Those are the questions that you have for this disease, like for this issue. You're gonna all have these questions. Everybody that you help has these questions. And I'm not gonna actually tell you the answer for this because I want you to understand how these work. Right now, that question that you all have, it's not just Taryn that's asking this, it's all of you. What patches and where do I place them and for how long for... Pick any illness or disease you want. That is just how you guys all think. Why? Because you're medically minded. Because you were brought up to understand medical treatment advice. Understanding your mind is medically minded. Okay, what we want to do is switch you over to a natural health mind. That is very different. There's no longer the asking of like treatment advice, because it changes how you look at things. It says, okay, if the patches are a whole body system, meaning they work systemically, head to toe. If these patches are for natural increasing of a copper peptide, right? If these patches do things to help signal our body, right? The patch is the signal and our body is the miracle. Then it changes how you ask your questions, because no longer is it what helps for this specific issue. It's now, oh, okay, if X39 specifically increases GHKCU in the body, and if you understand what GHKCU in the body does, human GHKCU, that's endogenous GHKCU, then you start to see, oh, okay, it's working systemically on a lot of things, because having healthier, younger cells in your body is what is the outcome of having more GHKCU in your body. So if you have a bunch of healthier, younger cells, what is it going to do for you? A lot of things. The issue is I can't tell you that it's going to do that first. Like you want this to be fixed first, and I don't know if that's going to happen. There are plenty of us who are waiting for things to happen that we expected to happen right away. And it's like, wow, but a bunch of other stuff happened. So my question is, are you going to throw away the baby with the bathwater? Are you going to say, well, if it doesn't help with this fill-in-the-blank issue that I want it to help with, am I not going to use it because I'm going to get 20 other benefits that I never even thought could happen? So that's part of that's the trade-off, is a health and wellness mindset versus a medical mindset is completely different. So it begs a different question. And it's almost like what patch should I use for like the most optimal health? Well, X39. That's the question. I don't know if it's going to help you or ding, 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 right? Like whatever, okay? It's a great question, but there's testimony after testimony after testimony of it helping neuropathy. Can I say it's going to help your neuropathy? No. I don't know what it's going to do for you. So that's part of the dilemma, is everyone is different. That's the medical mindset goes into the almost like one size fits all, right? Like you have a headache, you do this. You have cancer, you do this. And then we know oncologists with cancer, they sit there and say like, everybody's different. That's what's so interesting about this. And it can be very interesting, but at the same time, it's still cancer, right? So still it is almost a one size fits all. You're going to get chemo, you're going to get radiation, maybe you're going to go the natural route, which all the doctors will tell you you're a lunatic and, the diet doesn't matter. Like it's like, it is one size fits all. You guys are all trying to like tell us and scare us into into your model. That's the problem. We don't want to do that with what we have here. We don't want to tell people that this is what's going to heal you, because it's not going to heal them. It's going to do a lot of things in their body, but I don't know what it's going to do for them. So that's just changing your mindset. How does a PC Plus customer actually refer people, and how do they get paid? They don't get paid. So if a PC Plus person signs up another PC Plus, they get credits. They have to sign up. So the first tier of $100 credits, it works in like $100. So each time, so they have their own order as a PC Plus, and then they need to find 2 more PC Pluses that those 2 people sign up on their link. If they get 2 PC Pluses and themselves, that's $100 credit per month if those people keep ordering each month and they keep ordering. And then for another $100, they need 3, because they count as their first of the 3, but they need 3 more. So if they get 3 more, they get another $100 credit to their account each month, which is a great thing, because that's going to then go toward their order and any extra stuff they want. But they just get credits. They get credits in the amount of $100 per 3 people that they sign up. The referral goes to them, and it's their people, but it goes under your enroller who's a Brown partner, and the points and extra money goes to them too. So they do get a profit on you as well, because they're an actual Brown partner. You're getting credit as a PC Plus. Can you overuse the patches in the first month? I mean, use too many different patches. Yes. So in the first month of using patches, your body is getting used to phototherapy. And you can use usually a 2, or 3, depending on which ones, like X39 with SP6, or X39 with Eon, or X39 with X49. Maybe X39 with Llfewave at night. The problem is, if you add any of the heavy detox patches like glutathione or carnosine, those 2 with X39, you're going to have like a crazy detox spiral, and it will feel icky. So we don't recommend that, and then until like maybe month 2. But even in the beginning, let's say you start patching, you've never patched before, and you're like 2-3 months in, and you start using 3 patches, and then you got 4 on, and then you're like, for some reason, you heard about the knee thing, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do that. So you've got glutathione, carnosine, Eon, and then you're like X39, X49, and then you've got SP6 on. You got all these patches like in one day, and this is like within the first year of patching. You might feel woozy, like you might feel like you're on a boat. It's too much activity in your body. So take one patch off, like take the SP6 off, and you might say, oh, I'm good now. Like keep taking a patch off until you feel good. By the time you're maybe a year, 2 years into patching, and if you have been using all the other patches like on rotation and your body has gotten used to them, typically, I haven't seen anyone have any issues when you wearing all of them. Like you could literally wear like energy enhancer, and you would wear silent nights at night. Like there are things that you would do at night, but like I've seen people on like 9 patches during the day. Like it's not a huge deal, but that's not for someone brand new. Okay, and remember, it's always X39, and then the support patches would support you, but I always think in terms of like overdoing it. So think about a supplement. Taking a multivitamin, fine, you're kind of getting all your bases, but what happens when you take a multivitamin on an empty stomach? You feel nauseous. What happens when you take a multivitamin and a bunch of others at the same time, even with food? You sometimes feel nauseous. Also, it's taxing on your liver. You've got too much going on. So that's why some of you who, in my olden days of teaching you guys, I would tell you, be careful about overdoing it. And then you'd have other leaders in our industry, pharmacists, other people say, like, you got to up your supplement game. And you're on, they're talking, like, gloating that they're taking 50 supplements. And I'm thinking, you're ridiculous. That's the worst thing you can do. So part of it is, what I love about our patches is we can get off of a lot of supplements and on just the main ones. And these help with everything else. So then those are technically, like, patches are technically considered supplements. Even though they're not consumable, they're supplementing your health. So we just have to remember that overactivity can cause issues as well. Can you give me Llfewave patch placement for, just so if you have foot issues, there's a lot of real estate on your foot. And part of it is the K1 spots. We usually put them both on the bottom. So white on the right, tan on the left. I've had stuff like where I've gotten like a foot cramp, like in the arch or whatever, and you can literally try either way, but you put like the tan on the bottom and the white on the top, it's bracketing it, or flip it. You got to try it both ways. And the thing with the Llfewave is that that set is that you have to try different things to see what's going to work. So, really up to you, but you can't just think, well, I tried it one way and it doesn't work. That's totally bogus. You got to actually find the right spot for it. Okay, any advice to get over vertigo? First and foremost, it depends on why you have vertigo. So I couldn't tell you how to get over it. The Epley maneuver is sort of like hit or miss. Some people can rub like a tangerine essential oil. It has to be good tangerine. Like Now brand essential oil is not a good brand, right? That's all like super, super diluted. So you want to get a good quality. I like original Swiss aromatics. So the original essential oil company in the United States, 35 or 36 years running, or longer. I don't even know how many years they've been around, but that's the like grandfather of all of the essential oil people. But that's original Swiss aromatics. And if you've got some tangerine, actually I don't think they have tangerine, like I think sweet orange, something like that. And you can just like rub it on. Do not put any oil in your ear. That's like the worst thing you can do. But you need to understand maybe why, right? Did you dislodge some ear crystals? Like, were you drying your hair upside down, or did you go swimming and get, like dislodge your ear crystals, which means that now you have vertigo? Or do you always have vertigo? I don't know. So you're asking a question that has too many potential. Okay, and then I wear the Eon patch on the back of my neck and X39 below your belly button. Are those good placements? Yeah, you could switch them up. You could take the Eon. I like wearing the Eon on my hand. You can even wear the Eon on the top of your foot. Remember, this patch placement guide here is a really great way to, understand other spots.